What's up, everyone? It's Shanita here with Jewels in the Making, a channel geared toward faith, lifestyle, and development. Today's topic is the things that every teenage girl needs to know before she enters into the real world. Okay, so this video is targeted towards parents as well as teenage girls. So I'm going to start with the first tip. The first tip that every teenage girl needs to know is that your worth is not found in that Chanel bag, that lace front, your car, your grades. Your worth and your identity is found in Christ. And so, because I'm a Christian, I always love to promote Christ. Find your identity in Him, and He will give you the book knowledge. He will give you the common sense. The Bible calls it wisdom, but I like to call it common sense, so that you're able to decipher the people that you should hang out with. You're able to decipher what colleges you choose to go to because you have wisdom from God, right? And so the second tip is that not everyone is your friend, and that's okay. And as a teacher, I feel like we tell students all the time, be nice, invite this person to that, or we try and teach you guys how to be nice and how to be friendly, and parents do this as well, and we teach you that, but then you don't know how to decipher between, well, who is an associate? Who am I just supposed to say hey and bye, or if they need my help them, and who am I supposed to hang out with? And you need to understand that young. I wish that I would have understood that concept when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, but I didn't. And so I'm here to share with you today. It's okay if not everyone is your friend. You still be kind and polite to them, but it doesn't mean that you have to have a sleepover with them, or they have to ride in your car, or you have to go to their house, they have to go to your house, or that you share everything with them. Be cordial, but not everyone is going to be your best friend, and you don't have to label everyone as your friend. Okay? The third tip is don't be a mean girl. And I don't know, most of you guys probably haven't seen the movie Mean Girls, but it's a movie with the actress Lindsay Lohan. And basically, she is new to this school, and there are these popular girls, and she does not like the popular girls. So she comes up with this plan to try and overthrow them, right? And then she ends up turning into the mean girl. And so if you are hanging out with girls who laugh about everything and about everyone, think that it's okay to pick on other people, think that it's okay to talk down to people, and you're in that group, you need to disassociate yourself from that group, because those toxic behaviors will come into you and then make you toxic. Prime example, when I was in middle school, that's when I caught the chicken pox, right? I had made it all the way through elementary, and the chicken pox hit me in middle school. And so I had this really, really bad, ugly chicken pox scar in the middle of my forehead. And I remember not even wanting to go back to school because my face was just so horrific. And, of course, my mom wasn't hearing that. She like, girl, you going to school. So I went to school. When it was time for lunch, I would sit with these group of girls, and it was one girl who was very, very popular. She was spoiled. She had her nails done in middle school, her hair laid. Like, everybody loved her, right? And I sat with those group of girls. And as I sat in front of her, she looked up at me, and she saw the mark in the middle of my forehead, and she said, ew, like, I'm not going to even be able to eat my lunch looking at that. Girls, let's move. So she proceeds to take her lunch tray and move down to the opposite side of the table. And do you not know, those girls followed her like robots, like, okay. And they just moved right along with her. And I was just like, I didn't speak up for myself. I had already felt bad that I had this ugly scar in the middle of my forehead. And so I didn't speak up for myself. And those girls didn't speak up for me either. And so if you are hanging around those girls, or if you are the mean girl, I would ask that you stop being the mean girl and you speak up. When someone is talking bad about somebody else, ragging on them, speak up and say, yo, that ain't cool. The next tip, this tip has to go with grades. It is very important that you identify some type of study habit early, especially if you're planning on going to college. You're going to have some type of routine to balance. And I think as teachers and parents, we all do a bad job at teaching teenagers how to plan. And I know this was something that I struggle with today is organization. And I wish that I would have had organization at a younger age so that it would be easier for me today. But I'm working on it. But what I would tell you is learn organization young. So when you go off to college, when you get your job, when you do those things, you know how to be organized. So it is very important to ask your parent for a planner, especially if you're in sports or you're in extracurricular activities or working. You may even have a job in high school. It is important for you to have a planner. If you don't want to get a planner, you don't like writing stuff down, you have an iPhone. You can go to your calendar on your iPhone or Android or whatever and plug in events and stuff that you have going on. Don't just leave it up to your parents. Start taking responsibility upon yourself when it comes to organizing your study habits and any extracurricular activities. That is very important, because when you go to college, you're not going to have anybody to hold your hand. You're really going to have to figure it out. So figure it out now so that you'll be prepared for college. My next tip is, while you're in high school, especially like 10th and 11th graders, I would say if you have an idea of the careers that you want to go into, that you shadow someone. So you can do like a summer internship program. If you want to be a lawyer or a pediatrician, see if you can shadow somebody that goes to your church who's a lawyer or pediatrician. If you don't know anybody personally, you can even go to your guidance counselor and have them to set you up with someone that you can shadow. But in any rate, please, if you're interested in multiple things, shadow early before you decide to go to college. That way you can choose the right college and the right program to major in. Okay, so that is very, very important. Another thing is, try to get a job in high school. Learn what it's like to pay a cell phone bill or to pay some type of bill, just to teach yourself responsibility. Another tip is, once you have narrowed down the career path that you want to go into, you need to pick the right college, okay? And so if you're anything like me, when I was in high school, I wanted to be in the entertainment business. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a psychologist. Like, I remember teaching to my younger cousins or teaching to my Barbies. Like, it was something that I was very passionate about at a young age, but I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know the fundamentals about college and degrees and all of those things. I had to like blindly find this stuff out. So I'm here to help you now. Like, if you have 3 things that you really, really love doing, intern during the summer and then get a feel of those things and then figure out well, what colleges can I go to that have this degree? Once you have this program or degree, once you have decided what program you want to go into, you need to pray like, God, what college do you want me to go to? Be very prayerful about that. You have to seek God for yourself. Go into prayer and ask him what school that he wants you to go to. Because just because your parents went to that school, it doesn't mean that that school is going to be the best fit for you. So pray about your decision of what college to go to. The very last thing that I would like to share with teenagers, especially teenage girls, is purity. Purity is not that you have everything covered from head to toe. And it's also not you showing all of your goodies on the gram or taking provocative pictures, sending it to your boyfriend or posting it online. That's also not purity. But purity is a mindset. It's a mindset that says, I respect my body. I respect who God has called me to be. And because I respect that, I'm not going to show my body off to get an applause or to get validation. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm holy because I dress a certain way to get validation. What I am going to say is I am a child of God and I do know who I am. And that may change in the future. But as for right now, I know my purpose and I know who I am. And so I'm not going to try and put on this facade to other people. I'm going to be pure because God has called me to be pure. You really need to hone in on that and understand what that means. Purity to me is a mindset. It's not about your clothing. Although you do want to be respectful, because people do judge you on your appearance. So when you go places, you want to set the tone. And the tip after that is be very careful in the type of relationships that you get into as a teenager. Because although there's a lot of teenage love, and it doesn't mean that you can't marry that person when you get older. But what I mean by this is be very mindful, because some guys may only want to date you because you are the pretty girl or you are the nice girl and they want something from you. So you really have to know who you are and not be captivated by that boy because he tells you that you're beautiful. You are beautiful. God made you. That's a given. You're beautiful. But don't allow him to manipulate you because he's flowering you with all of these nice compliments. Because you want a boyfriend who respects you, who wants to get to know you for your mind, not just for your body. And you want to be able to set boundaries. If that teenage boy is making you uncomfortable or trying to make you do things that you're not ready for, that you know is a sin, don't do it. You have to set boundaries. Learn to set those boundaries young. All right, guys. I hope that I have been helpful. Again, this is Shanita here. And remember, we're all kings and queens of the Most High, Jesus Christ. Be blessed.